Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of Nicelabel training videos. In this video, we're going to learn about how we can connect Nicelabel to Excel and print from it. When we open up Nicelabel, we can click on the data part of the ribbon to access our different data sources that we want to connect to our label. As you can see, the four main data sources are Excel, Access, Text File, and SQL. There are other data sources that we can connect to, but we'll stick with Excel for now. I'm going to click on the Excel data connection, and right away the step-by-step wizard pops up. This welcomes us to the database connection wizard and will guide us through connecting to a database. When I click Next, we're brought to the database connection screen where we can actually select our database. I'm going to click Browse, and I'm going to pick my Pasta Excel file. I'm going to hit Open, and now we have showing us our location of where our database is being brought in. Now we can do some other things that if we needed to do a login, which Excel doesn't have, but let's say we're using Access, we can click Test Connection, and it'll tell us if the test connection was succeeded. Or I can click Advanced Setup here, which would then bring us different options such as driver, data link options, anything like that. Since we don't need that for Excel, we can click Next. And here is where we can choose what table we want if we had more than one table or sheet in our Excel file and all the fields that we have. Now I only have 4 fields, so I'm going to use all of these, but if I didn't want to say use the code EAN, I can highlight it and click Remove. However, I want that back in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and click it and click Add, and we're going to click Next to move on to the next screen. Now here is where we can choose how many label copies we want to print per record in the database. So we can use any fixed number of labels, such as 1, 2, 3, etc., or if we had a quantity field in our database, we could use that as to print that many labels. So if I select the dynamically defined number of printed labels, if I had a quantity field, I could simply select that from here, such as let's say package was our quantity. Whatever number is in that package column will be the number of labels that it'll print per record. We're just going to keep the fixed number of labels at 1, and we're going to click Next. Now we can have Nicelabel create all of the text objects for each field and put them on the label automatically, or we can choose to do that later ourselves, but I'm going to have Nicelabel create them for me and place them on the label. Now here is where it gets interesting. Here you can see the actual data that's coming in from the database and what we have. You can also see that it's only going to show us up to 1,000 rows. So we can actually scroll down here and see exactly what sort of data is going to come in. We can also, if we wanted to apply a filter, saying, let's say we wanted to have the package would actually be, less than or equal to 2. So that would allow us to see if any package field record would have less than 2 packages or equal to 2 packages. We can also sort everything if we wanted to by using a field and sort it by ascending or descending. We can also choose our data retrieving, meaning how we actually want our records. We can choose to have all of our records print. We can choose to print the first record or the last record. We can even choose if we want to select what records we want to print at print time or have it print all the records. And we can even choose some options such as collecting the records, using the same record for the entire print job, and even changing the number of copies at print time. And for people that are Excel, SQL, gurus, we can actually change some of the things here in SQL by selecting what we want from certain tables. I'm going to leave everything here as default, and we're going to click Finish. Now you'll notice now we have a few fields with question marks. Question marks are normal in Nicelabel. That shows us that they are variable fields, and we can even go to the View tab over here and select our object name, which will then show us what fields we're looking at. So here we have the code EAN, we have the package, we have the product description, and we have the product ID. Now, if we want to actually see the print preview in action, selecting our records, we can go to File and Print. Now here we have the actual first record that's coming in from our database. If I click on the Pasta tab over here, this shows us our entire database right now. I can either uncheck all of these records and check selected ones, and I can even scroll through and see what records those are. Or what I can do is I can actually go down here and I can type in whatever records I want, such as 1 through 15. And we can even do another range such as a comma and then 20 to 27. So as you can see, if I scroll down, you'll see which ones I have checked. So I have 1 through 15 checked, Then I've got some blanks. And then I've got 20 through 27. So now we can choose a dynamic range based on whatever range of products we're looking for, and we can even change the number of copies depending on each record. So in summation, in this video, we learned how to connect our Excel file to our label, pull in those fields. We learned how to place all of those fields on the label as a text object, and we even learned how we can do some different printing by changing records, searching for a range of records, and even changing the copies of labels per record right at print time. So thank you for tuning into this video on Nicelabel Training Videos, Printing from Excel.